guys, Ash here, Ray Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love your way, some positive vibes, especially if you need them out there. Today's going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. You could probably tell from the title and thumbnail. It's been on my mind for a while to make a video like this, but it's really how much do you want to share? How much is relevant to the topic or the points I want to articulate to you guys? I started to take some notes about an hour ago, and I'm like, you know what? Scrap it. Let's just go off the cuff like we always do here on the channel, the irresponsible way. So that's exactly what you're getting today, guys. And I also want to acknowledge the timing, given the subject matter is a little awkward, considering I have a shard opening going live in a day or two. But actually, in that shard opening, a little foreshadowing for you guys, at the end, I re-upped on the shard opening, meaning I went and spent another $100 and then another $100 on that particular shard opening. It ended up costing me around $400, plus the charity components to it. Not that you guys care about my finances, but then ends up being like $600+ for a shard opening video, and it got me thinking. I used to think about this as, hey, you're reinvesting in the channel, Ash. You're doing a smart thing, man. Pulling the views, getting the interest. People will love it, and you'll make out better for it in the long run. But I've realized that was sort of a cop-out, right? I want to rewind a little bit. Let me put something on the background for you guys. I don't know. You want a dragon run? Like the good old days? Let's do a little dragon. So I have an addictive personality, a big-time addictive personality. My hunch is some of you guys might as well. I mean, you're playing Raid Shadow Legends. You're playing a gacha game. And by the way, just quick disclaimer, this is not a shot at Raid. It's not a Raid rant video. I actually love the game and I love the community, and it's not a shot at any of you guys. I'm not here to preach to anybody. You live your lives however the heck you want to live your lives, right? Firm believer in that. That being said, I wanted to share a little bit of my background, my realization stemming from what I just spoke about a bit, right? And that is addictive personality, right? Very, very fortunate and lucky to have never gotten involved in any hard drugs or anything like that in my life, because I know better, because I know I can't just try something, right? I'm probably going to go all in. And again, I feel like this game, not everybody, certainly don't want to paint with a broad brush, but I feel like it attracts those sorts of personalities. I mean, there's a lot of dopamine in this game, right? And a little bit of competition too. And frankly, the fact that it's a bit pay to win-ish, obviously, it appealed to me. It's kind of a weird thing to say because normally everybody's like, yeah, pay to win is dirty and free to play is good, right? But it actually appealed to me because, like a lot of you people out there as well, I have a family, I have a full-time job, and I don't have the time to allocate to progress. So, for example, if I wanted to play, Clash of Clans, which I started with on YouTube, right, 10 years ago, I know I'd have to put a lot of time in, or money. Right? So as someone who is very limited in time, our most scarce resource, it actually appealed to me, hey, it's cool that you can spend a little if you're at the point in life where you're a little bit stable financially, that was the draw to me, hey, that's cool. I don't need to grind for 15 hours a day, maybe in the background in Raid, but you guys get the point. But then I kind of over time, it took me a long time, to be fair, a long time, I've realized that it's kind of a bit of a cop-out. It's kind of like you're making excuses for yourself. Like, it's because I don't have a lot of time, so I'm spending a ton of money. But then you realize that, there is, like I said many times here on the channel before, there's no real competition. And I mean, there is, there's arena and whatnot, but you don't get anything if you win first place in live arena or anywhere else in the game, right? So I got to thinking more and more and more about it, and I thought I would want to make this video. So anyway, addictive personality, right? Man, I abused alcohol, binge drinked throughout my 20s, and I'm in my 40s now. So, and I regretted that big time, right? Again, I was very lucky. I didn't get injured and hurt anybody else. I didn't get arrested. I'm a pretty good boy for the most part, but I didn't treat people the way I wanted to treat people, Again, nothing, I don't have any crazy skeletons in my closet, but still, I wasn't the best version of myself. And without getting on a soapbox, for me, I'm only speaking for me, my goal in life, other than being the best dad I possibly can, is to be the best version of myself Well, I guess to everybody, my son included, right? And I don't think I was that for a long time. And it had to do with these addictive things, right? And I don't want to be too lofty about it as it pertains to a video game, right? But I didn't maintain a budget, right? And it's not about can you afford it? It's about what could you have afforded instead of it, right? Because I think we talk ourselves into, well, you know, it's entertainment. I could afford it. Done. But it's also about like, what could I have done with the money instead, right? And so yeah, in 20s, didn't like my relationship with alcohol. I binge drank on the weekends basically throughout like a decade of my life, you know, and it wasn't a cool move, man. You know, like moderation, Ash, moderation. Never been one of my favorite words in life, right? And then after that, I ended up, you know, I don't want to say addicted to social media, but my phone is so embarrassing to me. It's so embarrassing to admit. My phone became a phone addict. A phone addict. And I hate myself for that, you know? You know that feeling, right? Like your phone's on the other side of the room and you're like, oh, where's my phone? Like it's an appendage. I hate that. I hate that feeling, especially in this career. It's tough, you know? I quit all social media outside of like posting a video, you know, or whatever. And I felt a lot better for it, you know? So kind of got over that. And then I went through some really difficult losses in my life. I've talked about them a lot, so I'm not here to belabor the point. But I lost my mom, you know, about 10 years ago or so. And then I lost my little brother after that. And I wasn't ready for it. You're never ready for losses as acute as that, right? So about 7 years ago, my girlfriend at the time, she was like, hey, why don't you try edibles, right? And again, just quick disclaimer here. I'm not anti anything. Like, live your life. I'm so libertarian for it, right? I'm not here to preach to anybody at all, right? But I became not addicted. It's hard to say addicted. Dependent. How about dependent on edibles every single night of my entire life for 7 years, you know? And is it that big of a deal? You know, like, are they going to, I woke up feeling great every morning, no hangovers. It was an improvement for the old body. I felt quite a bit, you know, and it was. But cognitively, it certainly wasn't. After years of doing it heavy every night, I started to lose my touch a little bit, right? I couldn't enunciate anymore. I couldn't get clarity with my thoughts anymore, you know? And I became someone who wasn't the best version of myself anymore at work, for my loved ones, for myself, for my son, for my career, you know? And so these are just some examples. And I feel like with Raid, it plays to that part of my nature as well. Going back to the void, you know, and by the way, this is so silly to say, and this actually stems to why I'm making this video. I'm not looking for a freaking round of applause or a pat in the back here, guys, but I am 4 days clean. I'm 4 days totally clean right now, guys. And I know there's probably people out there who knows what it is, who knows what and it goes beyond just the things that I mentioned, right? Like, I just have that in me, right? Something gives me that big rush, and I want to do more of it, you know? I want to do more of it. So I want to invite anybody out there, whether it could be a video game, it could be anything. It could be food. That's another thing for me. Food addiction. Massive food addiction. It's so crazy to say, but maybe it ties into the previous addiction in some ways, right? But I would binge eat like the best of them. You know, like, ooh, some like, yeah, you can't put food in my house. Let's put it that way, right? You're going to do a thing of wheat thins? No, I'm going to eat an entire box of wheat thins and then an entire sandwich, and then I'm going to order takeout, and then I'm going to gouge myself. And then, okay, I'll only surround myself with healthy food. Then I'll be door dashing and binging healthy food until it's gone, you know? So I have that about me in my nature, you know? And I've tried everything, meditation and therapy, you know? But Raid is another one of these things. So what I'm trying to say is I just want to give an invitation, because sometimes this is all it takes for somebody out there. It's only going to probably apply to 5% of you guys watching. But sometimes you just need someone to be in it with you, you know? And if you need something, if you have something in your life that you wish that you would rein in a little bit, you know, rein in, I invite you to join me. Like, let's have some strength together, you know? And you can do it. It takes it one day at a time. And it takes little tiny baby steps. You know, I said this in a video years ago, but, how to lose weight or how to be a better partner or whatever, sometimes you floss. Institute small healthy habits into your life, and they'll start to replicate, So I don't want to make this video a 25-minute video, guys. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest. And again, if anybody else there struggles with it, join me. I know it's silly to say about a YouTube channel and audience, but I care about you guys. You guys who tune in and leave nice comments and even not so nice comments sometimes. I do genuinely care about you guys. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and it's the community, it's the feedback that keeps me going. As it pertains to Raid, am I going full out free to play, never spending again? No. Am I gonna do random $400 void shard openings for no reason for a mediocre champion? No. I'll still probably do a primal once in a while, save up those shards. But for the most part, I'm going to do the smart thing, what I should have done a long, long time ago. I'm going to institute a budget. I'm just going to stay within that budget, I'm not going to tell you how much to spend or not to spend. I don't care, I care about you. I don't care about how much you spend. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to set a pretty dang modest budget, and then I'm going to spend my money in better ways, helping people out, trying to make a difference, as pretentious as that might sound. I'd rather do that in my life than have every mythical champion in Raid Shadow Legends. Much love, guys. Take care.